So today is August the 5th, 2025, and we are hearing that there is a parade of volcanoes that is erupting all throughout the Pacific, and experts are now warning that there could be a huge earthquake on the way with what we're seeing, and also developments in what they believe is causing the earthquakes. Let me go ahead and share with you the latest articles and video footage so you can see it for yourself. Take a look at the headlines with me. Now, this says, experts warn hidden earthquake threat beneath North America could strike at any moment. Experts on high alert as multiple volcanoes in the Pacific Ring of Fire suddenly come to life. Now, what's interesting about this is take a look at this article. This actually came out days before we saw that massive 8.8 strike in Russia. And now take a look at the headlines coming out today, August the 5th. Russian earthquake has caused a parade of volcanic eruptions, experts say. The volcano has caused part of the Kamchatka Peninsula to shift to the southeastward. So the entire peninsula is actually shifting. We're hearing there is massive volcanic activity. The tectonic plates are shifting, and they are warning that there might be even larger earthquakes that could be on the way. Now, take a look. Also, coming out today, August 5th, a second earthquake in days has struck New Jersey and shakes parts of New York again. And let me know in the comments. I saw some people saying that they felt the first one. Did you feel the second one that hit today? Also coming out, another big one today, August 5th, a 5.7 earthquake strikes near the Dominican Republic hours after a smaller quake strikes Haiti. A 5.7 magnitude earthquake has struck off the southeast coast of the Dominican Republic. And also, this is very fascinating. Now, let me know if you've heard this. They're saying they believe that some of the things that are happening right now could be due to solar flares and the sun. Take a look. Now, this was all over the headlines back in March. It says the sun's activity can trigger earthquakes. And now we know how this is happening. And this comes as we are hearing that right now the sun is erupting with 3 major solar flares in the last 24 hours. What it means for Earth, and with the implications that this potentially could be causing volcanic eruptions, the shifting of tectonic plates and earthquakes. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think these solar flares could potentially be causing these earthquakes and volcanic eruptions? A lot coming out on this back in March of 2025, and now they're speculating that as a result of massive solar flares happening right now, this could be the cause. But whatever the case may be, we are seeing what they're saying, the Ring of Fire light up with what they're describing as a parade of volcanoes that all are erupting. In fact, 7 of them hitting all at once right now after we saw that 8.8 magnitude earthquake hit in Russia, and one that they're saying is erupting the first time in 600 years. It is laid dormant. They said they have awoken a sleeping giant over off the coast of Russia. Wow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So we're going to dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. I see Peg saying hit that like button to help spread Steve's message. Thank you for that. I appreciate the support. Yes, if you appreciate the breaking news updates, the latest coming out, I'm going to put it on the screen, read right from it, cite the sources in the description so you can click the hyperlinks, read it for yourself, play the video footage on the screen. If you appreciate the live updates and the accountability, please take a quick second, hit that thumbs up like button. It's totally free, helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Also, to stay up to date, it's also totally free. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button. If this is your first time here, you want to stay up to date, I'll keep you up to speed on everything as it unfolds, as we're now hearing some experts warn that this might just be the beginning of more to come. The activity, the shifting of the tectonic plates, the Pacific Ring of Fire, they're saying it is lit up right now, and some speculating this could be due to solar flares. Let me know your thoughts. Now, as I shared with you when we had that massive quake come out, and then we saw the volcano erupt, and we had the tsunami warnings, I let you know that there was conspiracy theories flying around as to what could be causing this. Drop in the comments your number. Let me know. Number 1, this is just natural happenings, or maybe it's even solar flares. Number 2, some people were saying God is mad at Russia for all the conflicts that are taking place right now. Number 3, I had some people saying that this was maybe a underground nuclear test by Russia that went bad and set off some sort of activity underground as a result of an explosion. And number 4, some people are saying this is weather manipulation, that they're claiming that there are these natural causes, but somebody here is causing this to actually happen. Let me know your thoughts. 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1, natural causes or solar flares. 2, God is angry and letting us know about it by hitting Russia. Number 3, this could be an underground nuclear detonation that went bad. Or number 4, weather manipulation. Let me know your thoughts. I'm seeing a lot of 1s starting to pour in, people saying that this is just natural causes or solar flares. I'm also seeing some 3s. I'm seeing some 4s pouring in. And like I said, don't forget, while you're dropping in those 1, 2s, 3s, or 4s, take a second. Hit that like button for me. I see we almost have got 1,900 people with me in the room. If we could get up to 1,000 likes, that would be half of the room hitting the like button. That would be awesome. If you haven't done so yet, please do so. But let's go ahead and get right to it so that way you can see the latest. Let's start off with some video footage covering this volcano that is erupting for the first time in 600 years. And like I said, we're going to read the video. We're going to read the articles here saying volcanoes are erupting in mass. They're saying a parade of volcanoes after that massive quake in Russia. Let's go ahead and take a look.
For the first time in centuries, this massive Russian volcano roaring back to life, sending plumes of ash and smoke 3 miles up into the air. These images captured by a stunned helicopter tour guide mid-flight as he flew over the Krisheniakov volcano. According to the Smithsonian Institution's Global Volcanism Program, this was its first eruption in nearly 500 years. Researchers near the volcano detecting steam and gas jets breaking through cracks on the slopes of the volcano just after 6 a.m. on Sunday, according to Russian authorities who say the team was able to safely evacuate. That volcano, less than 150 miles from the epicenter of the huge 8.8 magnitude earthquake that struck Russia's Kamchatka region just last week, and right on the cusp of colliding tectonic plates along the Pacific's notorious seismic ring of fire. Last week's quake, one of the largest ever recorded, destroying buildings in Russia and triggering tsunami warnings in Hawaii and parts of California. This eruption, the second reported on the Kamchatka Peninsula since that earthquake, as a third volcano shows increased activity, a surge in seismic activity that scientists say may be related.
You've just moved the ground a lot, and that's really shaking up the volcanic system. It's not a huge surprise to think that they're related, but we've never seen it before.
Concern mounting that lava flow from that second volcano could speed up the melting of glacier ice in the area, endangering any people nearby, a well-known risk in other volcanic areas like Iceland.
Clearly, wherever the lava is coming out, it's going to be melting any ice around it. The experience in Iceland is really extreme flood events because so much water is released in a very short period of time, and it would just depend on who's downstream from that.
So the good news about this volcano is that it erupted in a place that was very rural, not near any people. So there were no known reports of any people being in danger, either from the ash in the sky or the lava, which melted the nearby glacier, which could have triggered flash flooding. Tom?
We thank you for watching. And
there you have it, you guys. So that was some coverage from NBC. You were able to see the video footage of that 600-year dormant volcano beginning to erupt for the first time. And this comes as we had heard warnings about the Pacific Ring of Fire, the volcanic activity, and potential massive quakes coming. Now take a look at this article. Let's look at this one coming out days before that actually struck. Experts warn of hidden earthquake threat beneath North America could strike at any moment. Now, let's go ahead and see what this had to say. And then we're going to be looking at the articles that came out today with new developments. Now, a previously quiet fault line beneath North America is now feared to be a ticking time bomb. And experts warn that it could unleash a devastating earthquake with no warning, shaking parts of the United States. Canadian scientists have discovered that the Tintina Fault, located just 12 miles from Dawson City in the Yukon, has been silently building up underground pressure and may be on the verge of erupting in a massive quake. The The fault runs beneath highways, rivers, and critical infrastructure and stretches into interior Alaska, raising fears that it could send tremors into British Columbia, Alberta, and Montana, according to seismologists. Dr. Michael West, state seismologist at Alaska Earthquake Center, told the Daily Mail that this new study shows that it has been quietly building towards a potentially very large earthquake. It is one of the least studied fault systems in North America, and that needs to change, he added. So they're saying that this could erupt and be a big one. One section alone is approximately 81 miles long and could generate a magnitude of a 7.5 earthquake or greater, strong enough to shatter roads, destroy pipelines, and trigger landslides across both Canada and the United States. Researchers warned the consequences could be devastating if the fault breaks, especially since the Tintina Fault has been largely overlooked compared to more famous faults like the San Andreas Fault that extended over 750 miles through California. They said the fault could break along more than 109 miles, causing strong earthquakes in northern U.S. communities, including Alaska's Fairbanks North Star Borough, potentially impacting over 125,000 people. Here you can see on the map those fault lines. Now, the potential earthquake could significantly affect critical infrastructure like the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, particularly for those living in remote areas with limited earthquake preparedness or emergency response capabilities. Now, Dr. Theron Finley, a recent PhD graduate from the University of Victoria and lead author of the study, said the fault may be at a late stage of a seismic cycle. It is quietly built up around 20 inches of slip that could be released in a single catastrophic event. This fault has been hiding in plain sight since it was discovered in 1912 by geologist J. Tyrrell, who documented its existence in the Yukon Territory based on geographical surveys. It stays suspiciously silent while others rumble, leaving it overlooked by quake monitors and hazard maps. But scientists now say that it is a mature, slow-moving fault, the kind that stays quiet for thousands of years before suddenly unleashing a powerful quake. The most dangerous thing is not just that the fault is active, he said. It is that no one's been paying attention to it. Now, the study published in Geophysical Research Letters found that parts of ancient glacial landforms have shifted sideways by nearly 3,200 feet, providing clear evidence of powerful past earthquakes. Now, researchers used satellite and drone mapping tools, which uncovered scars in the landscape that show this fault has ripped open the Earth's surface multiple times, with the last major rupture more than 12,000 years ago. Importantly, geological evidence shows the land has not shifted in a long time, a sign that the fault has stayed locked and is steadily building up pressure. That quiet period may actually be a problem. We are not good at thinking about things that happen every 12,000 years, West said. But over time, it builds up enough motion to create a 7.5 magnitude of a quake. Seismologists are now concerned as the U.S. Geological Survey, recent 2024 Alaska model, a modern earthquake hazard map, do not treat the Tintina Fault as a major risk. It is not even recognized as a distinct earthquake source in official models, but the landscape tells us a different story, he said. So, man, that was the warning that came out, and then we actually saw that megaquake. And take a look at the headlines coming out today. Russian earthquake has caused a parade of volcanic eruptions. Experts say the volcano has caused parts of the Kamchatka Peninsula to shift southeastward. So we're seeing the entire map of the peninsula shifting as a result of what is unfolding right now. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this here. It says the massive magnitude 8.8 earthquake that struck off of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula last week has triggered the activity of 7 volcanoes in the area, according to the Institute of Volcanology and Seismology of the Far Eastern Branch of the Russian Academy of Science. Now, the RAS said this is the first time in almost 300 years that 7 volcanoes have erupted at once in the region. The director of the Institute, Alexei Ozrov, described the situation as an extremely rare phenomenon that can be described as a parade of volcanic eruptions. So we are seeing multiple 7 volcanoes erupting all at once, a parade of volcanoes as a result of an 8.8 magnitude earthquake. And now we're seeing several of these happening all over throughout the Ring of Fire. And I'm going to be sharing with you in just a second, an earthquake struck today in New Jersey, one in the Dominican Republic that was a 5.7, and one in Haiti as well. The magnitude 8.8 earthquake has struck late on July 29th. It caused several aftershocks, including a magnitude 6 aftershock in the Pacific Ocean near Kamchatka at 6 a.m. local time Tuesday morning, according to Kamchatka branch of the Unified Geophysical Service of the Russian Academy of Sciences. Here's a photo. Take a look at that. Photograph taken August 4th, 2025. Wow. Okay, so this was just yesterday. I know they've been posting some old photos of some of the volcanoes and the activity. This was taken yesterday. You can see one of the volcanoes erupting here. It says this is actually Kistanov. On Instagram shows Sergei Kistanov shows the eruption of the Klykuchevskoye volcano on Russia's far eastern Kamchatka Peninsula. Now, among those erupting is the Klykuchevskoye volcano, which the Kamchatka Volcanic Eruption Response Team reported to be spewing ash on Tuesday. Now, the earthquake has now caused the southern part of the Kamchatka Peninsula to shift southeastward, according to the local branch of the Russian Academy of Sciences Unified Geological Services. So the peninsula itself is shifting as a result of the volcanic eruptions and the quakes that have taken place. Now, the Kamchatka branch of the Federal Research Center, United Geophysical Service of the Russian Academy of Sciences, have calculated the surface of the Earth has shifted to the southeast, with the greatest shift occurring in the south of the peninsula, reaching almost 2 meters. The greatest shift occurred in the south of the peninsula, a movement that is comparable to the horizontal displacement that resulted from the 2011 earthquake in Japan. Seismologists acknowledge the peninsula has shifted somewhat more modestly, although they do not specify the exact amount that has shifted. Take a look at these pictures. This one from 2 days ago. You can see that eruption. The volcano spewing smoke and ash during an eruption in the Kamchatka territory. Now, the eruptions followed the volcanic activity of the Krashenikov volcano, which saw lava flow in the last week for the first time in nearly 600 years. Local officials said the last lava flow was recorded back in 1463. Wow, so they're saying a sleeping giant has erupted, and we are seeing a parade of volcanoes taking place right now. Now, in addition to that, taking a look closer to home in the United States, today, August 5th, second earthquake in days strikes New Jersey, shakes parts of New York. This is the second felt in just a couple of days. Let's take a look at this so you can see it for yourself. A small earthquake rocked parts of New Jersey on Tuesday, the second to be felt in the region in just a matter of days. Now, a 2.7 magnitude quake was recorded near Hillsdale, New Jersey, just after noon, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The center struck more than 7 miles below ground. So this was not even like 2-3 hours ago that this came out, that we saw this earthquake unfold. It wasn't immediately clear if any injuries or damage had been reported. The latest earth rattling comes after a magnitude 3.0 quake struck Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, less than a dozen miles away on Saturday night. That earthquake was felt in parts of Manhattan, including Hell's Kitchen, as well as Riversdale, in the Bronx, and in Staten Island as well. So we are seeing earthquakes in New Jersey. Now, also, take a look at this coming out August 5th today. 5.7 quake strikes near the Dominican Republic hours after a smaller quake strikes Haiti. A 5.7 magnitude earthquake has struck off the southeastern coast of the Dominican Republic. And man, let me know your thoughts. All these quakes, volcanoes, tsunami warnings, are you concerned about what potentially could be coming? Yes or no? Drop it in the comments. Yes, if you're concerned. No if you're not. Put no if you think this is just a one-time thing. It's just happening. Maybe it's due to solar flares. Maybe it's just due to activity going on in Earth. Put yes if you're concerned that there could be more, or what could really be happening here could be more than we are expecting. Let me know your thoughts, yes or no, in the comments. And also, if you haven't done so yet, do me a favor, hit that like button. I see we've got over 3,100 people with me live. Half of the room hitting the like button would be 1,500. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that like button. If you haven't, and we're not up to 1,500, that would be awesome. I appreciate that support a ton. Now, let's take a look at this article coming out from ABC News. And again, this is updates coming out today, August 5th, 2025. It says a 5.7 magnitude earthquake struck off of the southeast coast of the Dominican Republic early Tuesday today, jolting residents awake in the Caribbean country and in neighboring Puerto Rico. The quake occurred 24 miles southeast of Boca de Yuma at the depth of 104 miles, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Now, no damage was reported. Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic are located in a high seismic activity zone. Given that the North American plate and the northeast corner of the Caribbean plate meet in that area, a 4.1 magnitude earthquake also struck near Haiti's capital late Monday at a depth of 3 miles, according to the country's Civil Protection Agency. Now, the quake was widely felt in Port-au-Prince and beyond. Officials said no damage was reported. Haiti, which shares the island of Hispaniola with the Dominican Republic, sits on the intersection of the North American plate and the Caribbean plate. Now, in August of 2021, a 7.2 quake struck Haiti, killing hundreds of people. It occurred along the same fault zone that unleashed a catastrophic 7.0 earthquake in January of 2010 that killed hundreds of thousands of people as well. So we are seeing activity taking place in Haiti, the Dominican Republic, New Jersey, all throughout the Pacific. And let me know your thoughts on this. Now, I want to share with you guys what is going on here. Tina, I see you saying, thank you, Steve, for the updates. You are very welcome. I appreciate the support a ton. Let me know your thoughts on this. Take a look. Now, I saw tons of articles coming out March of 2025. The sun's activity can trigger earthquakes, and now we know how. Man, let me know your thoughts, but let's take a look at this article here. I'm going to give you some updates as to what they're speculating potentially could be happening, and what they're saying is solar flares and the heat and the magnetic fields could be causing the earthquakes and the volcanoes. Do you think that that possibly could be it? And like I said, a lot coming out on this as of March. Yes or no? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's take a look. On a dynamic planet like Earth, it can be easy for drivers of change to go unnoticed, but scientists have now established and investigated an unexpected link between the sun and our home world. Sunspots and therefore solar activity cause seismic activity, according to a team led by computer scientist Matthias Henrique Juniquero Saldanha of the University of Tsukuba in Japan. Their new research reveals, in other words, solar flares and the sun could be causing seismic activity, aka earthquakes, volcanoes, and eruptions. Man, let me know your thoughts. Do you believe it? Yes or no? Is it the sun that is causing this? Now, solar heat drives atmospheric temperature changes, now, which in turn can affect things like rock properties and underground water movement, he said. Such fluctuations can make rocks more brittle and prone to fracturing, for example, and changes in rainfall and snowmelt can alter the pressure on tectonic plate boundaries. While these factors may not be the main drivers of earthquakes, they could still be playing a role that can helped us to predict seismic activities. So they're saying the sun, by looking at these solar flares, we might be able to predict when they're coming, when we might be experiencing earthquakes and volcanoes. Now, there's a lot going on here on Earth. Our planet has a squishy interior covered by a crust that is divided into discrete sections. and an active weather system. There are a lot of potential triggers for monumental shifts in the planet's crust that could result in an earthquake. Now, we're not very good at predicting seismic activity. There are simply too many variables, and the process that leads up to a tremor or quake is long and complicated. However, knowing the triggers means that we could better assess the probability of an earthquake activity and keep a keener eye on potential early warning signs. Now, Hunqueria Saldana and his colleagues applied mathematician Yoshito Hirata of the University of Tsukuba identified a correlation between sunspot activity and earthquake activity in a paper that they published in 2022. But it wasn't clear why. But they're saying that they have found activity that correlates between sunspots and earthquakes. Wow. Let me know your thoughts. Now, one hypothesis was that heat might have something to do with this. Sunspot activity waxes and wanes with cycles of solar activity that have to do with the reversal of sun's magnetic fields. Solar maximum, the point at which this reversal takes place, is a time of rampant solar activity, and the increase in solar irradiation due to flares and other solar tantrums also creates a tiny increase in temperature of about 0.1 or 0.2 degrees Celsius. In the follow-up research, they found, and their colleagues, they investigated the potential link to temperatures further. They added to their model, including records of sunspot activity and temperature records of Earth's surface, conducting mathematical and computational modeling to see if they could establish a correlation. Their results showed that adding surface temperature to the mix improved the accuracy of their earthquake predictions, especially for shallow earthquakes originating in the planet's upper crust rather than deeper, mantle-driven rumbles. Now, since this is the layer of the planet most affected by the atmospheric temperature and the water cycle, it makes sense that changes therein would affect the upper crust most strongly, researchers have said. Now, this finding highlights just how complicated our planet is, as well as its relationship to our life-giving star. But it also gives us one more tool to add to the growing kit of variables to factor into earthquake prediction models. It's an exciting direction, he said, and we hope that our study sheds some light on the bigger picture of what really triggers earthquakes. Wow. There you have it, you guys. Man, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that this is coming from the sun? If so, put sun. Now, if you think no, put no. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like I said, this coming out all over the news back in March of 2025 as they're saying solar flares, the sun, this could be causing the earthquakes and volcanoes. And take a look. Coming out, you can see today, the sun erupts with 3 major solar flares in 24 hours. And now, if those findings back in March are correct, that means that we could be seeing a lot of solar activity, which could be equating to a lot of earthquakes and a lot of volcano eruptions. And that is exactly what we are seeing right now. As I shared with you in these articles that have been coming out, we're hearing experts are warning, they are predicting that there could be a lot of activity. Experts are on high alert as multiple volcanoes in the Pacific Ring of Fire suddenly come to life. Russian earthquake has caused a parade of volcanic eruptions, one erupting for the first time in 600 years. And also, as I mentioned, we saw an earthquake today in New Jersey, shakes New York. We also saw a 5.7 in the Dominican Republic, another one in Haiti, and there is a lot going on. The earth is trembling right now. Man, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But you guys, whatever unfolds, I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. But we're hearing that there is earthquakes, volcanoes, there is a lot taking place, solar flares. In addition to that, we've been keeping an eye on what's going on with the United States and Russia. And I got an update today. I'm going to do some more research for you. We're hearing things are escalating. We are not moving towards peace. It sounds like the rhetoric is increasing and intensifying here on Earth as well. We've seen nuclear submarines from the United States move over to Russia. Russia has said they're no longer going to hold themselves back for use of nuclear weapons, and they have sent out nuclear bombers in various directions. And then today we're hearing drills. Now they're saying they're their typical annual drills, but China and Russia are coordinating them together. The United States is running drills as well. And there's also stuff happening in the Middle East doesn't look like peace. It looks like getting further apart. So I'm going to do some more research, get the sources, and I'm going to do some more updates for you. So stay tuned to the channel if you want to stay up to date on everything going on. Like I said, it's totally free. This is your first time here. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. And if you haven't done so yet, please take a second, hit the like button. I see we got 3,200 people in the room. We just need 40 more likes to get half of the room hitting the like button while we're live. It really helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. But I'll continue to keep you up to speed as more comes out, you guys. But that is the latest. And as more rolls out, like I said, I'll share it here on the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. God bless. I'll catch you in the next one. This is Steve.